Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming to the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau's Legislative Day here at the Capitol. It's a pretty exciting day for Farm Bureau. Once a year, we bring hundreds of farmers from all across the state of Pennsylvania, representing agriculture to talk about the key issues and priorities that we have on our farm. And so we're excited that you're all here. Behind me is some of our farmers that are here representing their members back in their counties. And we thank them for taking the time to make sure that our message is heard throughout the Capitol today. We also have some Penn State college students who are in our Collegiate Farm Bureau who are here as well. And they are learning and representing agriculture as well from their viewpoints. So some of our key priorities that we have that are really important to agriculture this year, and I guess I'll start with wildlife. Wildlife is one of those things that you probably go, what does wildlife have to do with agriculture? But I will tell you that we are seeing a tremendous amount of crop damage across Pennsylvania as we think about how we're farming and how we're looking to save our crops and to be able to feed our animals. And so over this past year, we have really ramped up our message on crop damage. And I'm here to say that we are really working closely with the Game Commission as well as with Senator Rossman and Senator Vogel as they put together Senate Bill 1087, Crop Damage Solutions. And we're excited about this bill because this bill will actually give agriculture a seat on the Game Commission, so we'll have a voice there. We'll also connect hunters and farmers together to be able to solve the issues that we have on our lands. The other thing is it's going to remove the barriers to be able to take the animals from our farms and be able to get them into the food system and to be able to get them harvested in a way that is inhumane and being able to do what we have to do to solve our problems. And even though it's not going to be the fix-all, it's a great way of getting the conversation started that we're able to move forward and to really create a really great conversation moving forward where we can do this. I was talking to one of our farmers last night that on his farm alone, he's over $200,000 of damage. So that's the issue we're working with as we think about the future. One of the other things that we as farmers are concerned about, and another key priority for Farm Bureau, is energy. You know, to run a farm, it takes quite a bit of energy and resources to make sure that we're creating food for Pennsylvania. And so one of the things that we're looking at is making sure that we have a diverse group of energy sources that we can rely on as we think about the future of agriculture. One of the things that concerns us is making sure that some of these energy sources are not conflicting with the needs that farmers have. And as we think about like solar, we want to make sure we're prioritizing where solar is being placed. We want to make sure that we're using marginal and non-prime farmland. It's important because once we take that farmland out of production, it does take away the opportunity for future agriculture use. And we're here to support Senate Bill 211, Senator Yall's bill, about decommissioning of solar projects, because we know that can be a huge issue as we think about where the future of some of these alternative and renewable energy sources are. Another key priority for Farm Bureau is the environment. And you know, sometimes people think that farmers don't care about the environment. Well, I'm here to tell you that farmers rely on the environment. It is part of who we are. We need clean water, we need clean air and healthy soils. That's what makes us productive. That's what makes us the best agricultural country in the world is what we do on our farms. And so as we think about the things that we're doing on the environmental side, we're really excited about all the VMPs that we're doing on our farms and making sure that we're getting recognized for the things that we do. There's a lot of talk about food processing residuals, and we are here to make sure that we are looking at this as we think about those FPRs, as they're called, and how they're incorporated into the farm. And we in Farm Bureau are working on the committee of trying to rewrite the manual to make sure that the future of using those nutrients, which are really important to some farmers, are available, and we're doing it in the correct manner. Also, some of the things that we're focused on would be Senate Bill 1090, and it's reducing burdensome requirements to meet federal MS4 regulations. And Senator Rossman, as well as we have a House Bill 207 by Representative Gleim, is all about what I call the rain tax. And it's about paying a fee for the size of your buildings and stuff like that on your farm. And you look at a homeowner who's paying maybe $100 because their imprint is much smaller. But when you think about agriculture and the size of our barns and that, so yes, we do have a larger footprint of actual buildings and things, but what isn't taken into account is all our recharge areas where we are actually able to put our runoff back onto the soils in the ground and recharge the system. And so we aren't being given credit for that, and this bill will help us as we look at trying to take away some of the fees that farmers are having to pay for their environmental side that they're working so hard on. I brought this milkshake up because it wouldn't be a press conference for Farm Bureau if we didn't talk about dairy, right? I know I got some dairy farmers behind me, and if I didn't talk about dairy, I'd probably get run out of here. So, but dairy is one of the most important industries in Pennsylvania. It's the largest ag industry in Pennsylvania. It creates over 52,000 jobs. That's a lot of jobs in the ag industry. One of the things we're doing at the federal level, and we're also working here in the state level, is getting whole milk back into schools, getting back into people's lives. And one of the things that we're so proud of our Congressman G.T. Thompson, as he has passed through the United States House, the Healthy Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act. It's sitting in the Senate waiting for it to be done. But we really believe that whole milk is a great option for our children, being able to make sure that they get those nutrients that are so important. And we know we lost a generation of milk drinkers, and so we want to bring that back. And this is the way of bringing it back with some good, whole, tasty whole milk. Whole milk, whether it's in a milkshake or not, it's still healthy for you, and we need to press forward. I think that in Pennsylvania, one of the other issues that we're working on as we think about the need for dairy farmers and to help, when we think about the overorder premium that's being paid on milk that is bought by the consumer, we need to make sure that it's accountable and back to the dairy farmers. And so we're looking forward to some legislation that will be hopefully moved here in the next few weeks that will help us make sure that those premiums that are paid for such a great product that's produced in Pennsylvania gets back to our dairy farmers. So more to come on that as we move forward. The last thing I will talk about is the budget. It's the budget season, and it's always interesting to see during this period of time as we think about where the budget is and what the hopefuls are and what the wishes. And I'm here to say that Governor Shapiro has been really a great advocate for agriculture. I really have appreciated working with him over the last year and a half as we think about agriculture and the future of agriculture. And one of his things in his budget is something that we thought was really, really important, and that's a diagnostic lab in Western Pennsylvania, right? When you start thinking about having a livestock farm or a poultry farm, one of the things that's really important as a tool is to be able to be able to do some diagnostics and to be able to do some testing. And for the folks in the West, sometimes they've got to travel across the border, maybe into Ohio or West Virginia. We shouldn't have our people having to leave the state to be farmers and be in the ag business. And so he has $5 million in the budget to get a diagnostic lab started in the western side of Pennsylvania. And we're here to say that we're excited about that because that's growth, right? That's how we can have growth in agriculture in Pennsylvania and setting up for the future of where we want to be. We think about high path AI. That's just not here on the east side of Pennsylvania or the central side. That's also in the western side and be able to protect us from that. The other thing is that he's also focused on dairy in his budget. And one of the things is we think about the U.S. Farm Bill and the safety nets that are there. You know, there is a federal dairy market margin coverage protection program. And it's an insurance, right, that you have to pay. And in his budget, he has $5.6 million that will help cover the cost of the premium. So we want our dairy farmers, and as I've heard recently, what you're getting per hundredweight isn't a lot, right? And so this helps to cover those premiums. It helps to be able to keep you sustainable. And so what the governor is trying to do is to help you pay or get reimbursed for the premium that you're actually paying for, and to get you to use this coverage. It's interesting because we find other states who are doing this. Maryland, Virginia, Minnesota, Vermont have all created this program. And in Minnesota, they've created this, and they have found that 80% of their dairy farmers are now covered to protect them from the price of low prices of milk per hundredweight. And so I think it's really important that we use all the tools we have to be sustaining and make sure that we are continuing having dairy farms in Pennsylvania. He also goes on, and in his budget, he has a proposed hiring of a new dairy development director. And as I got more information on that is really looking how we expand the dairy industry. How do we bring in processors? How do we bring in more opportunity for dairy farmers and opening new markets to be able to make sure that we get to the place that the opportunity is vast, right? And that we create some more value to the consumers of Pennsylvania. The governor's also has proposed a $10 million agricultural innovation fund. So you say, what is the innovation fund? Well, and when I look at this, it's about using new technology, new science, new innovations to be able to help agriculture think through some of the issues and some of the items that we struggle with, right? And to be able to add funds to be able to grow and to think about, like, what is it that we need to invest in? And so as I think about it, it will actually help our environmental side of it too, as we invest in new technologies, as we think about what's really important for the future of agriculture in Pennsylvania. So I'm really excited. We've got members of our farm bureaus across the state are wandering the halls. Some of them are here. They got meetings. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying thank you again for being here. Thanks to our members who have taken the time to actually come here and to be part of the conversation, to be the voice of agriculture, because I think this is really important for us to tell our own story, because we're the only ones that know how to tell that story. And so I thank our members who are here. Don't forget, the milkshakes are out back. They're back there on Commonwealth Avenue by Soldier Grove. And we also have our immersion lab. If you haven't seen our immersion lab, It's a great educational piece that we partnered with Giant on, and I think if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. But it's a great day. It's awesome to be here, and we thank you for being here, and thank our members for taking the time to come and be the voice. So with that, thank you very much. I'll be around for questions if you have any. Thank you.